Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. I'm Josie with Awakened Soul, and we're here for a reading about the person on your mind and the connection you share with each other. Today's reading is going to be a good one. We are going to be discussing the blockages in this connection. So whether you are with this person or in a situationship or possibly even in separation with them, I set the intention that this reading would find you to bring you clarity as to what is getting in between the two of you, deepening your connection with each other. So truly this reading is intended to reach whoever it's meant to reach when it's meant to reach you. As always, remember this is a collective reading, so take messages only if, when, and how they resonate. Leave behind any that do not, and always listen to your intuition. So to give you a quick rundown of what we're going to cover and when, for those of you out there that like to jump around and rewatch certain sections, we're going to get started with the first spread I have pulled for us. Over here on the left, these three cards represent your blockages. These three cards represent your person's blockages, and then the center card right here is mutual blockages, okay? So something both you and your person are experiencing together. When we're done talking about this section, slash this spread I've gotten out, I'm gonna dive deeper using the tarot. Afterwards, I'm going to pull a few channeled messages from your person to you to see what they would really like to communicate to you if they felt like they could be open and honest. Spoiler alert, I can see that they do face some communication blockages, so those might be extra insightful for you, particularly if your person does not know how to speak up or if you're in no contact with them. And then I will pull some tiles and charms later on into the reading for bonus confirmation. Sometimes we have important symbols come up, initials, names, words, you name it. And then, as always, I will end our reading today with a short message just for you and whatever you're needing to hear the most at this time from universe. And I do that to help you recenter your focus and energy back toward yourself, not necessarily towards this connection. So I do highly recommend sticking around till the end, or at least watching that section. But anyway, without delaying any further, let's get into the reading. I've already explained a little bit here. I am going to talk about mutual blockages last. I want to get started with you first, and then we'll hop into your person. So your blockages are being represented with rotation, the reddening, and the destroyer. So side note, one thing I do want to note, because it's going to come up again for your person, is I'm getting a strong note of having another bonus mirrored blockage aside from what we have right here. And what that is some type of like health related thing. And I'm not going to go in depth over that just because everybody's situation and story is different. More specifically, I'm getting like basic maintenance, like healthy eating, drinking enough water, exercising, taking care of the body, spending time outdoors, doing this and that. One of your blockages, and I see your person is also faced with this to some degree, is like basically there's something going on with like your physical body, okay? And again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing, I'm not going to dive too deep into that. I feel like it's just basic health related. Like you might not be drinking enough water, or maybe it's been a while since you've been on a regular exercise routine. It could be that maybe there's a specific nutrient you aren't getting enough of, like you're not getting enough vitamin C or this or that. So one blockage of this connection is actually health related from what I can see, which is really interesting. So maybe grab that extra glass of water every day, or take a walk around the block, or, do something to, really take care of your body, because that could be causing some sort of a blockage. And it is true, when we eat healthy, when we spend time outdoors, when we take good care of our body, it does actually help to raise our vibration. And when we're eating unhealthy foods, or we're not consuming drinking enough water. That does actually like lower your vibration back down. So I'm not super shocked or surprised that that's come up here. Basically, you know, do something every day to really nourish yourself, take care of yourself, because your body is so very important. Yes, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, but the human side of that experience is also very important, and taking good care of your health is super, super important to personally evolving and growing. So, and it could be something minor. I'm not saying this is like something huge. It's just maybe you need to drink a little bit more water every day or something like that. And again, I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm not diagnosing anything, but that did come up. So I wanted to address it right away. Now, another blockage that I see you could be faced with is involving repeating cycles. So particularly if you notice repeating cycles happening in this connection that feel eerily similar to other connections you've been in, this is definitely your reading. I see a lot of repetition here. There's some sort of lesson that you have not like fully healed from or learned yet. And it could be a couple different things. I'm not saying it's one thing in particular, but there's definitely something that is on repeat that needs to come to an end here. And again, it could be a couple of different things, but especially if you feel like this connection is eerily similar to other connections you've been in, that's your indication for sure that there's some unhealed wounds or there's some lessons. The ego tends to seek out familiar situations, whether it's something we like or we don't like. The ego likes to stay in the realm of being comfortable, okay, with the familiar. So there's something familiar that keeps repeating in this. It's up to you to decide whether or not you want to hop off that merry-go-round, okay? Do you want to get off this cycle? Maybe you do some introspecting, some deep diving to see what you're meant to learn, what you can do to help yourself grow, and how you can stop like very similar situations and connections from repeating in your life if it's something you don't like. It really is up to you to make that change instead of putting that pressure on another person. Change starts from within. So just like good health starts from within, right? Anyway, with the destroyer as the blockage, there may also be a bit of self-sabotage in this connection coming from you. Now, I'm not going to point fingers. I'm never here to point fingers or anything. But the destroyer is kind of, in a way, it's similar to a tower card, but more or less a chosen one, if that makes sense. When we have a tower moment in our lives, usually there's some sort of external forces leading us in that direction, right? It's something that's kind of out of our control more often than not. The destroyer is kind of like a chosen tower. It's creating these events that break something down to be rebuilt again. And it could be that maybe in this connection there is a bit of self-sabotage, especially if you have trust issues or you're afraid or something like that. If things are going too well or if things are going good, you might find yourself sabotaging the connection in some way. And that could be unintentional. It could also be intentional. I can't say for certain, but it did come up for you. Over here with your person, like I already said, I brought up the health stuff already. Maybe they need to, take more vitamins or exercise more or something like that. But your person also seems to be struggling with wanting to fill a void that they perceive. And, that's a common thing a lot of people go through, in all kinds of different ways. Some people try to fill the void with relationships or love or, gambling or eating unhealthy foods or, basically there's so many endless things. Truly the void, from what I've come to find, is something that is really perceived. And your person may just be struggling with their inner self, and so they're wanting to seek external things to try to fill this perceived void, even though we are all already whole within ourselves. We're already complete. We're already connected to source. And sometimes people like to kind of branch out and do things to fill some kind of gaps that they think are there, when really we all have the capacity to do our inner work and heal if that's something we want to do. Your person may just be avoiding healing, is basically what I'm getting at here. They're avoiding doing their inner work. They're avoiding recognizing their shadows. They're avoiding a whole bunch of different things, and they are especially lacking with being able to communicate about it. The bridge is all about communication. And so one of the blockages that your person is faced with is being unable to properly communicate about what's going on inside. You know, why they want to fill the void, why they're always out there seeking things, instead of being at peace in the present moment, or being at peace with themselves, peace with the past, peace with the future. I would honestly just say that your person is probably very stressed out, and they're lacking in allowing themselves to be able to feel a true sense of inner peace. And they're always trying to substitute it with external experiences. Again, that could be dating around. It could be, having crazy experiences, always wanting to go out and do things to keep their mind distracted, overworking. Like, it could be just about anything, but your person seems to be avoiding communicating about what's going on inside, even with themselves. I'm not just talking about communicating with you or other people. They seem to really be struggling to be honest with themselves about what's going on inside. And so that's creating a blockage for this connection as well, because they just don't know how to properly communicate things, even to themselves. Maybe they struggle a bit with emotional intelligence. So when difficult emotions come up, they don't really know how to respond to them or process them. They might just go do something to keep themselves distracted. Is what I'm seeing here. Now, a mutual blockage for this connection is the shadow. I'm really not surprised that that came out. Both of you, to some degree, are running away from your shadow side. You're running away from your shadows. Instead of shining light on them with peace and love and grace and wanting to heal certain aspects, you might be avoiding it or running away from it altogether or denying their existence. Now, I'm not an expert in shadow work, although I have done it. Maybe that's something you'd like to look into. I don't know. Basically, what I'm getting from this is that there's a lack of unconditional love for the self going on for both of you. And that's kind of negatively interfering with this connection. Maybe you're afraid of your shadows. Maybe you'd rather be in denial of them. Whatever it is, there's a lack of unconditional love for the self. And, that I think is honestly something that most people face. That's a lesson that most people have to go through and learn, is how to really love yourself, even though you're not perfect. That can be difficult, especially for perfectionists or people who've been through very difficult times. But personally, I believe every single being is deserving of unconditional love and already has it from the creator, source, universe, whatever you like to say. We all already are inherently worthy of unconditional love, and we all already have it. So maybe there could be shadow work done for the both of you to kind of get over that hurdle and learn to love yourselves better. Take care of your bodies, take care of your minds, take care of your spirits, right? And really pour love. And also, side note, eating healthy, getting exercise, taking care of your body is a big act of self-love. It's showing yourself that you really love and care for you when you do things like that. When you eat nourishing foods instead of junk food, you are saying, I love you to yourself and to your body. So even just, focusing on being healthy is a huge act of self-love, even if it's just baby step by baby step. You don't need to suddenly go out and completely change your diet unless you want to. I mean, if you want to do that, go for it. All power to you. But even a simple act of choosing to have a glass of water with a meal instead of a soda or something like that is a small but important act of self-love sometimes. So anyway, aside from this, let's get out some tarot. I'm going to do a bit of like a side-by-side comparison like we just did. So I'm going to pull a few tarot over here for you and a few tarot over here for your person. And then we're going to kind of chat a little bit about what else is going on here. So talk to me a little bit more about the viewer's blockages in the connection. This one wanted to pop out. That was weird though. Okay. You and your person might have root chakra imbalances. Okay. And the root chakra, when open and in balance, you know, we feel very, very much secure in our bodies, secure in the material world. Our root chakra is what grounds us to the earth, right? So we don't feel like we're lacking anything financially or materially. We feel very calm, peaceful, secure, and stable in our environment. When the root chakra is out of whack or it's not in balance, we have energies of, you know, anxiety, stress, lack mentality, not feeling like you have enough, not feeling grounded, not feeling stable. And so maybe there's a blockage going on for you and your person since that came up. You might want to look into what root chakra balance is all about, or what a root chakra blockage feels like, or something if you want to. Okay, anyway, so over here on the left we have you, the Wheel of Fortune, the 10 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Cups. Over here for your person we have the 6 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, and the Chariot. Your person might be struggling with drive and motivation to move on from something is what I'm seeing here. With the 6 of Swords we have the energy of travel, of movement, of you know, going towards a new destination. And the 8 of Cups is all about leaving something behind. Interesting that both of you have that coming up. And then the Chariot, especially with this depiction of the kitty in the car, is basically, you know, moving forward. It's reaffirming this energy of the 6 of Swords, where it's leaving something behind, it's moving something forward, it's progressing, it's drive, it's ambition, and inner strength to go after goals, right? And so one thing your person seems to be blocked with right now is feeling like they can actually leave the past in the past and move on with their life. They may be hung up on an unhealthy pattern or a bad mindset or a past relationship or a past this, that, and the other. They're struggling to move on from that. Your person seems to really be hung up on something that's already happened, and they could have left it behind maybe a long time ago, but they've made an active choice to like stay stuck in that energy. Basically, I see that your person is partially blocked here because they're hung up on the past, whether they're conscious of it or not. They're having a really difficult time moving away from it and walking away from certain things that aren't serving them as well. So your person may be exhibiting bad patterns, repeating cycles as well. And they may or may not be conscious of those things, but they haven't made a choice yet to like fully walk away from what's not serving them, from what I can see here. And I think for a lot of you watching, it has to do with like belief structures, things that they tell themselves. Your person may struggle with being optimistic. Maybe they always go into situations assuming the worst case scenario, or they always have this, oh, I've already been there, done that type of energy, where they feel like it's not within their control to change their future or their overall destination. They're just always assuming patterns are going to keep repeating, and they have a difficult time understanding that every new situation, every new relationship is meant to be something different. It doesn't have to be the same thing repeating over and over and over again. For you, first of all, you may struggle with the same thing, leaving something behind, okay? There might be something you're struggling to fully walk away from. You may have a really difficult time letting go of connections or mindsets that you have attachments to, even if it's not serving your highest good. So there could be a struggle with, you know, leaving something behind, whether it's a past connection, a current connection, or a mindset, a belief, a wound, something like that. So I feel like that's kind of mirrored with you and your person here. There's also something about like, I feel like for some of you watching, you had a very specific picture of what you wanted your life or your future to look like. And you're having a very difficult time going with the flow and understanding that sometimes God and the universe have different plans for us than we assume. So maybe you have a tendency to fantasize, or you've always had this like big picture that was very specific and you wanted everything to look exactly like this. And I'm not saying you can't have what you want. I'm just saying sometimes what God and the universe wants to bring us, first of all, it's always in our highest good. The plan that God has designed for you is better than anything you can personally come up with. But you might be struggling with things not looking the way you thought they would, but they're still going to end up being what you want, but even better when you kind of like let go and have faith and, you know, do that inner work basically to help raise your vibration and, you know, create that reality for yourselves. So maybe detachment is something that could be beneficial here, because, you know, I feel like you're really just wanting to get lucky, like you're really just wanting your blessings to come to you finally. I'm getting this impatient energy from you, and I'm even like shaking a little bit when I started tapping into your energy over here. You might be getting impatient, and that impatience is actually like stopping your blessings from being able to reach you. You're getting impatient. Things aren't looking like what you wanted them to look like. So then you're getting stressed out about it, and you're actually like pushing back your blessings. You're blocking them by doing that. Because there's more to heal, there's more to leave behind, but it is coming for you. So that is what I'm seeing here. We're going to get some channeled messages out from your person to you now. Hold on a second. That was messy. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, okay. Let's get out some channeled messages from your person, particularly or especially since it seems like they're lacking with being able to properly communicate. Your person might, you know, shut down really easy or struggle with being open. We have, I don't know what you want. I don't want to let you go. I want you so badly. I don't know how to feel. Yeah, there's a lot of I don't knows coming out here, or uncertainty coming from your person. So maybe one thing they would tell you if they felt like they could is they feel very uncertain and unstable right now. They know that they care for you. They know that they do want this connection. There's no doubt coming from them in that department. But when it comes to all the outside stuff, they kind of feel like they're in a fog. They don't know what's going to happen. They aren't sure what's coming next. They don't know exactly how you feel. And they also don't want to let go of this connection. Okay. I think deep down inside, your person is afraid that this is unrequited love. Like you don't feel the same way that they feel. I don't think this is them to you. I think that this is their assumption of you, because your person seems to be very unsure. And, you know, if you've made your intentions and your feelings very clear to them, that could just be something they're personally struggling with. Like if you're not intentionally confusing them or sending out mixed signals, that could just be something that they struggle with right now, is sense of self-worth or not feeling worthy. And so then they project that maybe you don't care or something like that onto this connection. We also have, I'm grateful for the lessons and I made a big mistake. So your person is growing and learning and developing themselves for sure. Maybe there are some big mistakes they made that they need to talk about, but they're struggling with being able to get the words out. Could have something to do with trust issues. Maybe this person did do something to betray your trust in this connection. Since we have I don't want to hurt you, but also trust me, like maybe your person did make a big mistake. They want to like pull that back again and make things right. They don't want to hurt you. They definitely don't want to cause you any negativity at all. And they look like they want to rebuild the trust, or they're hoping that that's possible in the future. You never knew how much I really loved you. And I do think, again, this person does really care for you. They don't want to let this connection go. They're just kind of going through their own struggles right now, from what I can see. Okay, let's get out some tiles and charms next. Tiles and charms. Alrighty. This does get a little loud, so if that bothers you, you can turn the volume down until I lay everything out if you like. It's more than I planned on. Okay. All right, so I'm like getting messages of wait or wake coming out here, even though we can't complete the words yet, but that could be important. I'll read all the letters out loud to you in a moment here. I'm just gonna get everything all out. Okay, so we have W, A, K, I, S, S, B, N, A, and V. It's funny because I'm seeing Navi, and that reminds me of the little character from one of the Zelda games, Ocarina of Time. So shout out to anybody who knows that, but there we go, we have Navi. And that's all I'm really seeing here. I guess I kind of got distracted with that. So take your time if you need more time to look through the letters and see what comes out for you. We do have a key, a heart key here, and then we have a snowflake. We also have a moon charm. It's pink with a star inside, okay? The moon rules Cancer in astrology. And then, of course, in tarot, it represents Pisces, and the star represents Aquarius. So maybe like the Pisces Aquarius cusp could be important to this connection in one way or another. That could be an important timeline or something like that. Also, side note, if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, that is like the winter season for us, and we have a snowflake. So maybe the winter, particularly that time of year, could be significant or will be going forward in the connection. And then a heart key, basically unlocking your emotions, okay? Listening to your heart, listening to your body, listening to your intuition is going to be really important. That holds the key here, is really taking care of yourself and loving yourself, it seems. So let me get out a couple more cards. I'm going to pull you out your personal messages, and then we're going to close our reading off here today. If it's been resonating with you so far, or if you've been enjoying the reading, I would love it if you would let me know by liking the video. Subscribe if you're new, and if you feel like you would like to comment something down below for the collective, I invite you to do so. You can drop a deer emoji to let me know you're still here with us. Now, in case I didn't note it, or in case you want that further confirmation, these next two messages are just for you. It doesn't have to relate to this connection at all whatsoever, so take them how they resonate with you specifically. We have the deer with gentleness. This is a reminder to be more gentle with yourself and others. The grace, sensitivity, and gentleness of this spirit animal echo the qualities brought forth when living from the heart. Yeah, there's something about being authentic to yourself and living from your heart. Be more gentle with yourself if you haven't been lately. And then your affirmation of the day, I'll hold up. I invite you to affirm this with me. You can do that by reading it or commenting it. I'm courageous and I stand up for myself. Know your worth and don't allow others to make you feel any less. Their opinions are just that, opinions. Yeah, and one phrase that always stands out to me is other people's opinions of you are none of your business. And sometimes that can be a tough pill to swallow, so to speak, but it's also very true. Other people's opinions and perceptions of you really are none of your business. That's what's going on in their head, and you certainly shouldn't let it interfere with how you feel about yourself. Your opinion of yourself is the most important, so... But anyway, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you for joining. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day or night. And until next time, bye for now.